Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Miss P. Yes, I am driving. I'm headed to Bahama Bucks and Pearland so I can give me a snowball. And me and my baby Stinks, my dog, wanted to get out the house. So, of course, as always, I'm hitting y'all up with another story. Well, this is how I met someone and then had to go ahead and let them go. I know that sounds a little weird, huh? Well, I'm going to call him Mr. S. Mr. S, I met him inside of a group. And we started off like brother-sister camaraderie type thing. And the group was fire. Like, we used to do house parties. We had barbecues, sport events. Just whatever came to mind, we all basically did it as a group. I was in a couple of groups, but this one was my favorite. Well, when I was introduced to the group, he came off as the, I guess, head guy of the group. And there was a head woman of the group. And it seemed like they was together, like together. So, of course, I'm not going to step on nobody's toes. I, stayed in the lane that I was in. I was just, brother-sister camaraderie. Well, as the group comes to a close due to its own little spats or what have you, we ended up getting in touch with each other like a year later. And we started hanging out, just one-on-one sessions, and everything went kind of good. But it was more on a sexual note, I'm not going to lie. We was more on the sexual side than anything. But the whole situation, the whole setup, everything was great. Well, after a while of the setup and the scheduling and the things of that nature, I found out something about him. And yeah, I know he was married, and I did not know. I really didn't. Anytime I say somebody was married, I really did not know. I don't mean no disrespect to nobody, because I wouldn't want nobody to do me like that. So let's just make the record clear. I don't do married men. Please leave me alone. Anyways, once I found that out, I told him, hey, look, we can no longer do this. I don't feel comfortable. It's against my religion, my belief. And it just don't feel right. It's not what I do. He agreed, and we went our separate ways. Well, he got back in touch with me after some time, saying that he missed me and that he was getting a separation. Here they go with that S word. Everybody getting separated. Okay, sure. Only thing that I know separated was in the Bible, and that's the Red Sea. Anywho, so he sits there, and, we try to talk to each other, and he takes me out on a little lunch date, because it was still daylight. And we went, we talked, and I told him what my concerns were, and I told him this is not the line I want to cross, whatever. Well, I felt a little victim. I went ahead and believed him for what it was, and we started communicating some more. However, I raised my expectations more, because it's like, if you're going to try to pursue me, even though you haven't completed one situation, what is it that you really bring it to the table other than old baggage? Because that's pretty much all we're kind of talking about right now. And because you're trying to convince me into talking to you. So I raised the expectations, not by much. Whenever I see you, I would like some flowers. I'm a flower girl. I love flowers. Just see what I need. Don't come to me empty-handed, basically. That's how I was taught. If anybody come up to your house, to your crib, come hang with you, be in your face as a lady, they shouldn't come empty-handed. So I let him know what my, terms and stuff was, and he agreed to it. Everything was fine and, copacetic. Well, after some time, he gets kind of quiet and dismissive. And I'm like, well, I told you what I asked for. This is the situation. If you don't like it no more, just say something. I'm the type, just say something. It's not really mandatory that we go through a lot of stuff, but just tell me something. Well, he goes ghost on me. And here to find out, him and his wife are reconciling, I guess you can say. Even though all the unhappy pillow talks that he gave was very convincing. And the moves in the future that he said he was, planning for himself, that all sounded independent. Like, I knew we wasn't going to be in a relationship, but something between us was about to happen as far as isolation in our world. I say isolation because we were in agreement of being, the word is like so slipping my mind right now. We agreed to be just knowing each other at that time. So, yeah, I'm not sure why men feel like they have to do that. It's not that serious. I wish men would complete one thing and then try to pick up something else, but they be the main ones that call us chaotic when we do most of the thinking. Yes, we overthink, but y'all don't think enough. I think that's the problem. We take on the thinking part that y'all should be doing as far as consideration, respect, understanding, and actually just being 100. Everybody be saying they want a 100 person, but they like AOL dial-up. It ain't 100. Nothing is ever 100. Because either you trying to escape somebody's feelings, or you just trying to make it through. Like, you just trying to make it through whatever the situation may be. So you're on thin ice. Everybody is always walking on thin ice. So nothing is ever 100, but you don't have to. Don't set up situations and you can't multitask. You can't handle it. It ain't right. And I have to call out myself, drag myself, as they say, because I went ahead and accepted the situation, believing him. Now, in my defense, because I'm going to always have a defense for myself, in my defense, we have been knowing each other for 5 to 6 years. So anything he told me, I hadn't seen no lies. And I've always believed in, I believe you for now. So I hadn't seen any lies. I had no reason to believe he was going to not go through with what he talked about, what he stood for, what he basically promoted. And yeah. So the moral of the story is, don't start stuff that you can't finish, and it's not always a sexual statement. Don't start anything if you haven't completed, healed, finished, accomplished, whatever completion words are. Do it, finish it first, see it through first. Because in divorces, what I've learned, which I don't want one because that's not my thing, what I've learned is, it's like a double dutch. They can go back and forth on whether they want to reconcile or not. They can go back and forth on whether this divorce will go through or not. So anybody that's saying that they're separated and wanting to mingle, I understand you missing that companionship, but have a certain part of the separation completed before you start something else. Make sure your emotions are completely finished. You're just having to go through a process. So, yeah, that's the story. This one was a little longer because I had a little history there. But, yeah, do I miss him? Yeah, that was my friend. We was cool. However, the way he handled the situation, I don't respect. I really don't. Because it could have been a conversation there. It could have been handled completely different to me. We could have had to sit down, let me know, hey, as you know, my divorce has not been final. We didn't have a recent conversation that went better than I thought. This is where I'm at. But no, he decided to handle it a different way. So Mr. S is no longer in my life. The end.